Good morning, dear Sangha. Today is the 16th of July 2014. We are in the still water meditation hall of the Upper Hamlet, Plum Village during our summer opening. Today we have questions and answers. And the children will have a chance to ask a few questions. And then the teenagers and the young adults are invited to ask their questions. And after that, we will have plenty of time for the rest of us to ask questions. There are a few questions that have been written down here. So from time to time, we will read one of these questions. The children will be welcome to stay in the beginning. After that, you may like to go out and play and practice. This retreat, this summer opening is not a Buddhist a course on Buddhism. It is an opportunity for us to practice walking, sitting, taking care of our body, our feelings. So don't ask questions about Buddhism. Ask questions about your practice. A question that has to do with our suffering, our happiness, our experiences of the practice, our difficulties in the practice. And we know that a good question can benefit many people. So we have to ask the real question, the question of our heart, the question that has been there in our heart for a long time. This is an opportunity. So those of us who have such a question are invited to come up here and sit around Thay. It's very beautiful from here. The Sangha is beautiful. And we know that a good question does not have to be very long. And if you speak a kind of language that Thay does not understand, then you have to bring your own translator. The teenagers are encouraged to come. The children will have time to ask about 3 or 4 questions. We like to have teenagers to ask their questions. This is a very happy moment. The practice in a tradition of Plum Village, before you ask a question, you listen to the bell and you breathe with everyone 3 times to calm yourself before you ask the question. And the whole Sangha will breathe with you and support you. Calming. And we should, during the whole time, we should be able to observe our breathing, our feelings, and so on. I don't know whether during the time you watch the World Cup, you observe your feelings in your body and your feeling or not. If I had come, I will do so. I will observe my feelings and observe the feelings of other people around me and do not allow anything to pull me away from the joyful atmosphere of the Sangha. Did you watch the World Cup? Did you observe your feelings? Okay, now, children, you can begin. Sit there and listen to the bell and enjoy breathing.
Our young friend shared that she has a dog, that she had a dog, and her dog passed away, but she doesn't know how to feel not so sad. She'd like to know how to feel less sad about her dog passing away.
This is a very difficult question. Suppose you look into the sky, look up into the sky and you see a beautiful cloud. And you like the cloud so much. And suddenly the cloud is no longer there. And you think that the cloud has passed away. Where is my beloved cloud now? I want to know. So if you have time to reflect, to look, you see that the cloud has not died, has not passed away. The cloud has become the rain. So if we are lucky, we can see the cloud in her new form, which is the rain. And when you look at the rain, you see your cloud. And when you drink your tea, mindfully, and you can see the rain in your tea and your cloud in your tea. So the cloud has not died, and you can see, hello, my cloud, I know you have not died. You are still alive in a new form. So doggy is the same. Doggy has not died. Doggy has become something. And if you look very deeply, we can see doggy in his new form. Because nothing can die, including our dog. It just change the form and become something else, like a cloud. So please think about that, meditate, and then you will not be sad anymore. For those of us who have a friend or a member of the family who has passed away, sadness is there. But if we look deeply, we see that that person hasn't really died. That person continues always, but we have to look to find out the new form. the new appearance of that. So if you can recognize your cloud in the rain or in the tea, you can also recognize the continuation of the person who has passed away. And maybe that person is still very close to you, or even inside of you. So this is why Buddhist meditation can help us. It helps us to dissolve that kind of sadness in you when you feel that you have lost something very close to you. Okay? That question has benefited many of us.
Our friend asked, or she shared that she doesn't know what to do when her mom is angry with her father.
There are many things you can do. Many things you can do. One of these things is you go to your mother and you say, "Mommy, there is a cake in the refrigerator." This is a very famous mantra of Plum village. When your mother is angry or your father is angry and the atmosphere in the family is unbearable, then you can go and pronounce the mantra. "Daddy or mommy, there is a cake in the refrigerator." It means that, it means secretly that, "Mommy, I suffer. I don't like to see you angry. I don't like to see the atmosphere in the house heavy like that." It means that. So that is a kind of reminding your mother that if she is angry, she is making the atmosphere of the house heavy, that make you unhappy also, and your father unhappy also. It's a nice way of reminding her, "Mother, mommy, don't be angry. Don't make the whole family suffer." And then your mother will understand right away. You don't say, "Mother, don't be angry." You don't say that. You just say, "Mommy, there is a cake in the refrigerator." And she will understand. And she will wake up and she said, "Oh, I am making my daughter suffer. I should not do that." So she will try to smile and to say that. And she will say, "That's right. Why don't you go to the garden and arrange the table there and a few chairs? Mother will bring the cake out and invite Daddy to come and have the cake with some drink." And she will say that like that. And suddenly the atmosphere in the family becomes very light. Mother is no longer angry, and father will join you in the backyard having a piece of cake. So this is one of the things you can do. Next time when mommy or daddy is angry and make father, daddy or mommy suffer, you can pronounce that mantra. Remember, Mom, it seems that there is a cake in the refrigerator. It works very well. And you ask What if there is no cake in the refrigerator? Never mind, because mommy is very talented. Even if there is no cake, she will find out something. So don't worry about it. So this is one of the many things you can do when the atmosphere in the family is not very joyful. Thank you for asking the question. How can I stay calm when
I'm annoyed?
I'm annoyed? Yeah. Annoyed because of what? You are annoyed because of what?
Well, for example, when somebody stole my idea.
When someone stole my idea. Lazy day?
Yeah, inspiration, idea. Intellectual property.
Well, when someone stole your ideas, it means that you have good ideas, beautiful ideas. Otherwise, they wouldn't think of stealing them. So you should rejoice that you can produce beautiful, nice ideas. That instead of being annoyed, you can be very glad. You are capable of producing nice ideas, and they don't have these ideas, so they take it from you. That's good. From time to time, you get bored. You don't know what to do in order to be more joyful. That happens to everyone. Sometimes we turn on the television. Sometimes we go and play electronic games. We want to something exciting so that we stop being bored. And that is something very usual for everyone. But in Plum Village, we have a way of getting out of boredom. That is mindfulness. When you breathe in and out mindfully, you know there are many things that are wonderful. You remember the happy moments that you have spent yesterday or before yesterday. And if you remember them, you may be able to reproduce them, these moments, in the here and the now. There are many good things that are there. Like you have a young body, you can jump, you can run. There are those of us who do not have a young body. So you have a body that is still very young, very healthy. So to remember that you have a body that is young and healthy, you can jump, you can run, you can play, that is a good thing. And if you remember that, joy will come. Joy will come. And there are many things like that you can remember. You have a mother, a loving mother. She takes care of you, and she provides you with everything you need. In a world, there are so many children who do not have a mother. They are orphans. They have to go and beg for food, for drink. And you have a mother taking care of everything. So if you remember that, happiness will come right away. And you know that you have friends and you can play with them. And there are children in the world who do not have any friend. They have lost their mother, their father, their brother. And when you remember that, you feel that you are very lucky. So that kind of remembrance we call mindfulness. With the practice of mindfulness, we can remember many things that can make us happy. And that is why we can produce joy and happiness at any time we want, if we know how to practice mindfulness. And this is a kind of training. We have to learn how to do it, to practice mindful breathing, mindful walking, and recognize that we are very lucky. We have so many things that other people, other children do not have. So when you see that you are very lucky, that many other children in the world suffer, then compassion is born in your heart. You want to do something to help other children not to suffer too much. You see, what I can do in order to help a child in Africa to suffer less, what I can do in order to help a child in Asia to suffer less. Because there are children, when they are sick, they don't have the money to buy medicines. So when you think like that, you remember like that, compassion is born in your heart, and you want to do something. Maybe you will consume less, you eat less ice cream, and save some money to send to these children who are hungry in the world. So these things bring a lot of happiness. And there are many ways to deal with boredom. This is a very young practitioner of meditation.
I really want to know what gift means.
Say it again.
I really want to know what gift means.
Did Thay desire? Our young friend asked. She really wants to know, what does guess mean? To guess.
To guess. Difficult question. You don't know, so you have to guess, right? You guess. And when you guess, you are not entirely sure that you are right. That's very important. You are not too sure of your knowledge, so you guess. It's very nice, because guessing means that I'm not sure, I'm not too sure of anything. I'm only guessing, so I'm open to any kind of understanding. Maybe you can help me to understand what it is really there. So that is guessing. Guessing means you try to understand you might understand or you might not really understand. There's a guessing. Thank you. Now the children can stand up and salute to the Sangha and go out. It's amazing that children ask questions on the realm of metaphysics, psychology, and philology. Guessing, that's philology.
My question is, when I'm talking to my friends, how do I stop the conversation from going to gossiping and judging people? How do I stop the conversation from going in that direction without offending my friends?
Dear Sangha, the question was, when I'm talking with my friends, how do I stop the conversation from going in the direction of gossiping or judging others?
Practice the fourth mindfulness training. You practice the fourth mindfulness training about loving speech and deep listening. The fourth mindfulness training gives you instructions as how to speak and how to listen. You know that in Plum Village we have a meditation called telephone meditation. Before you make a phone call, you practice mindful breathing with a verse that goes like this. Words can travel thousands of miles and they can build more mutual understanding and friendship. I vow that everything I say will be beautiful, like flowers and embroideries, so that I can make myself and the other person happy. So you breathe in and out 2 times, reciting that verse in order to prepare yourself for practicing right speech. What you are going to say will be full of understanding and compassion, not only for that person, but for everyone, including myself. So this is a practice of mindfulness, of speaking. And then you compose the number and you listen. And when the bell, the telephone rings on the other end, if the other person is also a practitioner, she will not answer right away because the telephone ring serves as a bell of mindfulness. Because every time the telephone rings, it creates a kind of vibration in us. Who is calling? Good news or bad news? So that creates something not very peaceful, a little bit of anxiety in that. So if you practice telephone meditation, you don't answer right away after the first ring. You practice mindful breathing to calm yourself. And the other person who is calling, they will understand. They know that you are a practitioner. So they don't expect that you answer right away after the first ring. They will be more patient. And they will say, wow, the other person is breathing, why not me? So both of you are breathing in and out. It's very beautiful. Both of you are practicing peace. Imagine on the two ends of the line. The two friends are breathing in and out and calm themselves. And if you breathe and you calm yourself like that, the quality of conversation will be good. That is what we call telephone meditation. And when you talk to the other person, you can listen in such a way that make the other person suffer less. You talk about useful things, and the purpose of your talk is to improve the quality of relationship between you and the other person. And by talking like that, you can water the seeds of understanding and compassion in the other person. And at the same time, you water the seed of compassion and understanding in you. So telephone meditation is very helpful. And if we practice mindfulness of listening and speaking, you notice whether we are judging or not, we are talking about fault of other people or not, we are criticizing or not. So when there is, when we notice that there is that kind of discrimination and judgment happening, we know that we are not really practicing right speech, and we stop. Thanks to mindfulness. What? Because I have vowed already before I make the telephone call that everything I will say will build up more mutual understanding and compassion, and not opposite. So next time when you talk through the telephone, try to breathe and recite that kind of that verse. If you talk directly to your friend, remember that right speech, loving speech, can create a lot of happiness, and you don't spend your time creating the negative things, because time is so precious. And if you know how to make good use of your time, then what you say will be in the direction of right speech. It will make people suffer less, make you suffer less, and create more compassion and understanding in the other person. It's a very beautiful practice. And we need to train ourselves. Because with right speech, with speech full of compassion and understanding, we can help so many people to stop suffering and to begin rejoice. Because we can give them more confidence, more compassion, more joy, just by talking to them.
Dear Thay, dear Sangha, my question is, how do you change people's perception of you and ignore the reputation that you already have?
Thay, Sangha, the question is, how do you change people's perception of you and ignore the reputation you already have?
Good reputation or bad reputation? I think that misunderstanding is a daily problem of everyone. Not only the other person misunderstands us, but we misunderstand ourselves also. We don't know exactly what we are, and how we expect the other person can know exactly what we are. We have to be humble. If we do not have the time to observe ourselves, we will not understand who we are and our own value. We don't see our strengths and our weaknesses. So we have a wrong perception about ourselves. And then we want the other person have a good perception, a correct perception on us. This is difficult. So you have to listen to our feelings, perceptions, and body and consciousness in order to really understand ourselves. We have to see our strengths and our weaknesses. And you can see the strength and weaknesses that have transmitted to us by our father, mother, and ancestors. So understanding self is very important. And after that, you can begin to understand the other person. If you don't understand yourself, it's hard, it's difficult to understand the other person. So do not trust your perception too much. Do not judge, do not criticize so quickly. In a relationship, we have to help each other in the practice. We have to be humble. Darling, I know I have understood myself completely. So if you have remarked something, please tell me, because I need help, so that I can understand myself better. Because I know that if I don't understand myself, I cannot understand you. So please help me. So that is an attitude of openness. And the other person may help you. And in order not to hurt your feeling, he or she will use a loving speech, trying to tell you the truth, and always say that is what I see, but I'm not so sure. If I'm wrong, please correct me. So that kind of speech will not hurt you. You see in him or in her a friend helping you to understand and not someone criticizing you. And if he has emitted a view that you don't think that to be correct, you can help him to understand. Sometimes he did not want to, he didn't mean to do that, but the other person think that we really mean it. So you have to help him or help her. So understanding self will help us to understand the other person. And loving speech and deep listening help both to understand better self and the other person. And if there is mutual understanding, there is a good communication, and happiness is possible. The relationship can last longer. I think in a relationship, especially before you get married, it's very important to find out about the other person. And especially the deepest desire of the other person. Because each of us has a deep desire. We want to do something with our life. And it's very important to know the other person, the volition, the motivation that he or she has in the depth of his heart. If you don't understand that motivation, that deepest desire in him or in her, you cannot support him or her and live with him or her for all your life. So two young friends, I have to talk about the deepest motivation in each person, And if you see that you are willing to support him or her in realizing that kind of motivation, and you'll be a real friend, a supporter, and that will consolidate the relationship and make happiness last for a long time. And you have to tell him or her also of your deepest motivation. Your deepest motivation is not just to earn enough money to buy anything you like, or to have some fame or power, but to do something beautiful, meaningful with your life. You have to tell him about that to see whether he's ready to support you all his life for that. I think that is very important. Communication. We can talk about many things, but these are the things we should talk first. It's most important. The deepest desire in each other. And I think before you make a deep commitment to a person, you have to find out all these things and make sure that mutual understanding will be possible. The other person should have the capacity to listen to you. If he interrupts you all the time, he does not have the capacity of listening to you, you know that he's going to make you suffer all your life, because he does not have that kind of capacity to listen and to understand. Even if he is handsome, he has a high position in society, but if he does not have that kind of capacity to understand and to listen, and then it's the wrong person for you. And that is why we have to train ourselves in the art of deep listening. And if we know how to listen and to understand, we are capable of making the other person happy by all his life. So on one part, you cultivate that. On the other part, you help the other person to cultivate that. Has Thay answered the question yet? Good enough. Thank you.
The question was, why does Thay give these teachings, and what does it bring Thay? What does it bring Thay?
This teaching has helped Thay a lot. He has learned. He's very grateful that he has had the opportunity to learn the teaching of the Buddha in order to be more open, more tolerant, more compassionate. What I appreciate the most in the Buddhist teaching is the practice of non-discrimination, the practice of openness, the practice of not to be attached to a view, not to be dogmatic. And thanks to that, Thay has got a lot of freedom. Freedom from dogma, freedom from views and from prejudices. And he wants to share that practice with as many people as possible. And he noticed that many people, including very young ones, have profited from this practice and teaching, and have reconciled with themselves, with their parents, with partners. If we cultivate the spirit of non-discrimination, tolerance, openness, we can reduce the amount of war and conflict in the world. And every time there is a person who is ready to receive the 5 mindfulness trainings and put into the practice of 5 training, Thay is very happy, because he knows that if you live according to the 5 trainings, you will suffer much less. You have the chance to have more joy and happiness and love. So that is the motivation, the energy that help Thay keep going, sharing this practice, even if he's now not very young anymore, but he's still very young in spirit. D'accord?
Hello, I want to ask you if you have some tips for me, how I can help a lot of people in my future profession.
Thay Sangha, the question was, does Thay have some tips for me how I can help a lot of people in my future profession?
Which one? Which profession?
Which professional? So I'm interested in science and environment, something like this. So how I can maybe help in this people, that they suffer less, that they're happy.
She's interested in science, the sciences, and the environment. And she wants to know, what can she do to help people suffer less?
It's very good to hear such a question, because the willingness, the desire to help people to suffer less is the characteristic of a bodhisattva, a great being. You do not live just for yourself, but you live for other people. You want to help other people suffer less and experience joy and happiness. Anything you do in your daily life can help people suffer less, even when you breathe or when you walk. When you breathe mindfully and enjoy your breathing, you create joy and peace. And when you walk mindfully, you create freedom and joy. And that is already a gift for the world. If everyone in the world breathes like that and walk like that, the world will have a lot of peace and happiness. So you set an example. You do it by yourself. You don't ask other people to do it. You do it by yourself first. Transformation and healing begin with yourself. When you have a feeling of pain and sorrow, and if you know how to embrace it and suffer less, you do it not only for yourself, but you do it for all of us. Imagine a tree, a pine tree standing on the yard. The tree asks, dear Thay Sangha, what can I do in order to help the world to suffer less? And then the answer will be, my dear pine tree, what you can do to help us is to be a beautiful tree, solid, green. Because when a tree is a beautiful tree, healthy, the world has a lot of hope. If a tree is less than a tree, and then the world will be in trouble. So if you take good care of you, if you can make you healthy and joyful and compassionate, you already have all of us. You don't need 10 or 20 years more in order to be helpful. And that is the practice of being peace, being joy. And the practice of doing is based on the practice of being. You are peace, and you do peace later. Everything you do on the ground of being peace will be for peace. So you set an example. You take good care of yourself. And I'm sure that in the future, right now, even right now, you can help so many people. Do not set a line separating you and the world. What you can do for you, you do for the world. And what you can do for the world, you do for you. And peace is possible. Joy is possible with every step, with every breath.
It's too big and she doesn't know how to heal the suffering so that it's completely gone. And because of this suffering, she's not able to be truly happy, truly joyful. And she wonders, does she need to go to a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist in order to heal? Because she's been practicing already for a long time.
It's good to go to a psychiatrist or a therapist, but it's better to be in a good environment. If we can find ourselves in a good environment where there is brotherhood, sisterhood, understanding and compassion, we will heal more quickly. We'll be reminded that the suffering of the past is only what happened in the past is no longer there. And we should not be imprisoned by the experience of the past. Now we have grown up. We can defend ourselves. We can get in touch with the wonderful, refreshing and healing elements of life in order to nourish us. The person should be reminded by member of the Sangha in order to do that. Even if you still bear a wound in yourself, it's still possible for you to get in touch with the wonderful, refreshing and healing elements of life that are available in the here and the now. And the wound, the suffering of the past can also serve as something useful. It makes you compassionate. If you make the vow to practice in order to help prevent children for being abused, and then that kind of aspiration, that kind of goodwill will help contribute to the healing. So Thay has witnessed the case of people who have been abused, and the Sangha had to be patient. The Sangha has to help, reminding that person of the right practice, not to go back always to the past and ruminate the suffering of the past, but trying to get out to the present moment in order to be embraced by the wonders of life in the present moment, where there is a brotherhood, sisterhood, and the healing can take place. So a good environment is very important. And the practice of mindfulness will help a lot, because the practice of mindfulness helps you to get out of the past and to try to be in the present. In the present, there are so many wonderful things. There is a brotherhood, sisterhood, the light, the trees, the beauty of nature, the capacity to help serve people and help people suffer less. So there are many things that can help heal you if you know how to get in touch.
In my country, there is a very serious economic crisis. There are families who are losing their homes. There are some children that can only eat once per day. I am a doctor, and when they come to me, to the clinic, I don't know how I can say to them, happiness is here and now.
It depends on the way you say it. It is always possible to say happiness is here and now. Because in overdeveloped countries, there are many rich people. There are so many rich people. They have a lot of money, big house, big cars, plenty of power and fame, and yet they are not happy. Not only the poor people are suffer, but the rich people suffer also. Many of them commit suicide. So to both of them, to the rich person and to the poor person, you can say, this is a wonderful moment, this is a happy moment, provided that we know how to find out. To be still alive is something positive. To have something to eat, even if once a day, still you are lucky enough. You are not in prison, you are not being killed and maimed. So if you compare, you still see that you are still luckier than many other people. So there is a practice of tituk. No, tituk means I have enough. That is enough to make me happy. So you don't need a lot in order to be happy. I have seen many poor people in countries like Vietnam, India, Malaysia, Philippines. They are poor and they laugh all day. They laugh all day. One day I saw a person who drive a rickshaw, carrying transporting a guest, a client, and they bump to each other, and instead of shouting, they just laugh and go away. That is a very nice way. They do not allow anger to overwhelm them. They know that the other person did not have the intention to cause that. It's only incident. So they take life lightly like that. And their way, they see that it's stupid to get into a fight just because of that. So both of them laugh and continue to go their way. So it's not true that when you have more money, you suffer less. That when you are poor, you cannot be happy. If you can recognize that there are still conditions of your happiness. So, like you have a body that is not maimed. So you practice as a doctor, and you see that you are happy, that you still have the chance to help people who suffer. And if you have happiness like that, you will offer that to the people who come to you. Or you can say, dear friend, you are still very lucky. There are many people who suffer much more. You are deprived of everything. So rejoice. This is a happy moment. And she will agree with you.
Dear Thay, your Sangha, sorry, my heart's beating really fast. My question is, how do I continue to practice self-love and being open to receive love when I struggle with believing in my heart that I deserve it?
Dear Thay, dear Sangha, the question is, how do I practice to love myself when I struggle to believe that I deserve it, that I deserve to be loved?
Everyone needs love. Even Jesus Christ, even the Buddha. Without love, we cannot continue. So don't discriminate against yourself. You need love. So you deserve love. Everyone deserves love. If you go deeper, you see that you are made of non-you elements. You are not a separate entity. You are the continuation of your father, your mother, your ancestors. And all of them need love. So why do you deprive them with love. They are in you. All your ancestors are still alive in every cell of your body. Maybe during their lifetime they have not got enough love. And now you have a chance to encounter the practice of love. And you have to offer them love by loving yourself. When you take care of yourself, you take care of all your ancestors in you. So that is the insight of no self. You are not a separate entity. You are the continuation of your ancestors, your parents. And if you know how to take care of yourself, you love yourself, you take care of your parents and your ancestors in you. It's a very kind of you to offer love to all your ancestors. And while you do that, you are also kind to everyone else, because they know that you are taking care of yourself, and they want to be like you. They want to take care of yourself the way you do. You set an example. So by loving yourself, you love other people. You love all of us. That is something you can see in the light of no self.
I sometimes feel quite shy and find it difficult to connect to other people. I'd like to know how I can practice taking at a refuge in the Sangha. And also, I feel more comfortable alone. Is that a good way to spend my time?
The Sangha, the question was, a friend feels sometimes quite shy, and he'd like to know how better to take refuge in the Sangha. But he also shared that he feels more comfortable alone. And is that a good way to spend his time?
The best way to be with people is to be with yourself. And that is the teaching of a sutra for the better way to live alone. It's a wonderful teaching of the Buddha. When you spend time socializing, when you spend time with other people, you might lose yourself. And you don't have much in order to offer them. So you need the time to be alone in order to enrich yourself. In this practice, we should be alone. We should not run after something. We should not always longing for something in the future or in the past. We have to be established in the here and the now in order to get the nourishment and healing that we need. And that is the practice of mindfulness. To be with your body, to be with your feelings, to be with your perceptions, to take care of them. That is the basic practice in order to be with other people. If you don't do that, even if you spend 24 hours with other people, that's not true relationship. So learning to live alone, to go back to your body, your feelings, your perceptions, your suffering, your happiness, and take care of them, nourish them. And then you have something to offer us. And before you tell us something, you do something to help us, you already offer us many things. Because you have a good practice. You know how to walk, how to breathe, how to be peaceful. And you are already offering us a lot of things. And even if you don't say anything, you communicate very well. In a Sangha, you need to contribute to the well-being of the Sangha. You have to contribute to the spirit of brotherhood, sisterhood, the energy of peace and mindfulness and compassion. And if you spend all your time talking and playing, you cannot cultivate these things. So if you spend your time cultivating mindfulness, peace, brotherhood, and then you are offering more than those who are busy socializing. So with that kind of insight, you don't have any complex, and you don't have to be shy anymore because you are doing your best. And that is what I practice, Thay practice. It works very well. So please be confident in the practice of mindfulness. Go home to yourself. Take good care of yourself. Don't have to be worried about people. They will recognize you as a good element, a positive element of the Sangha. They will appreciate your presence.
How can I be there for someone who tends to lose herself in the presence of others?
Thay, dear Sangha, the question is, how can I be there for someone who tends to lose herself in the presence of others?
When she felt alone, because after having spent time with many other people, she will get tired and she will alone, and that is the moment when you have to be there for her. Because every one of us has that feeling of loneliness inside. And it is that feeling of vacuum, being empty, free time, in order to make us beautiful, happy, peaceful, compassionate. And the world will need us. The world needs our presence. Please think about that. Send your way, send your view. The other person needs help, and you need help also, and you can help yourself. Dear Sangha, it's time for us to rest a little bit before we do walk and meditation together. Walk in such a way that make the kingdom of God available in the here and the now.